but I can't bring myself.
Okay, we're going to get started. Thank you for coming tonight. This is our last regularly scheduled meeting of the year. We take November and December off unless there's some urgent issue, in which case we'll call a meeting and announce it online and with the yard signs. If you have a cell phone with you, please switch it to silent or vibrate. Is there anyone here at this neighborhood meeting who's here for the first time? Yes. Please tell us your name and your block.
My name is Maria Rebecki. I'm just moved to St. Louis from Seattle, and we are in the 4,000 block of Hartford.
Welcome. Welcome. Yeah.
Great. Yes.
I'm Joe Neef from the 4100 block of Humphrey.
Welcome.
And I'm Margaret from the 400 block of Miami.
Come see you.
Anybody else back there who's tonight is the first time they've been to one of these?
Like praying on 4100 Parker.
Did you
Great.
ride to
Yes, sir.
Ollie Whitehorse, 3622 parcel.
Great. Welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. We meet the last Monday of every month, but we take November and December off. So our next regularly scheduled meeting is January the 31st, and that'll be our winter social and potluck. We do have some new neighbor welcome packets. They're at the front in crates. There's one for the 15th ward and one for the 10th ward. So if you are a block captain and you have some new neighbors on your block, feel free to check out or to take one or more
Pick up a folder on your way out.
on your way out.
You have a new resident.
Thank you.
Sure.
Regarding our steering committee, we have Christian Herman and Dustin Phillips on the camera. Holly's not here tonight?
No, Holly's at a prop area.
Okay, that's right. Holly's in a prop area, okay. And our agenda tonight, we're going to have a few announcements, some updates from the Alderwoman, and then we'll get into the main topic, disaster preparedness with the zombie squad. And then we'll take some time to problem solve if you've got issues on your block, if you've got nuisance or problem properties going on near you. That'll be the time when we'll just open it up to anyone who might have a situation and they would like some advice on how best to handle it. Also though, I forgot to mention, Officer Calabro is going to give us an update on some crime statistics and on some information about some valuable arrests. In fact, Officer Calabro, why don't you go first?
How's everybody doing?
Okay.
All right, very good.
It's Monday.
It's always nice to get up here and get some good news.
At least it
For
rained.
those of you who don't know me, I'm the Community Outreach Officer for the 3rd District, formerly the Public Affairs. Does anybody not know who I am before I go into that? If you do know me already, then I won't have to. Don't know. What I do is I go to the schools, daycares, nursing homes, retirement centers, meetings like this, and I talk about neighborhood safety, crime statistics, any good arrests that go on in the neighborhood. I'm also a quasi-type aide for the captain and the direct line for communication between the neighborhood associations, all 23 of them, and the captain of the district. So I'm also on the numerous listservs, emails, and communicate back and forth if there's an issue, kind of like a switchboard operator for the district. Send it to crime suppression, auto theft, narcotics, whatever it takes to get the job done. So just basically a point of reference. Okay, I looked at the stats overall for the month, for Tower Grove South. I'll just touch on them real quick. I'm not going to go into huge detail because it's quite boring. But this is as of today, or as of yesterday, the 24th. The aggravated assaults are down by 25%. The burglaries, even though we've had a few for the month compared to last year, we're still down by 16%. The larcenies are down by 31%. The vehicle thefts are the same, still at 10, same as last time. They haven't really unchanged. So therefore, the total property crime is down by 24%, and the total crime is down by 21% in Tower Grove South. So that's not too bad. And I'm going to explain why those numbers are where they are in just a second here. For the district, comparatively speaking, the total person crime is down by 31%, and the total property crime is down by 16%. Therefore, the total crime overall, not person crime, but the total crime is down by 18.9% in the district, so that's really good. So, how is that all possible? Just a couple of nice arrests by the officers. Like I said, we've had a few burglaries and whatnot. If any of you, these are related to any of you, most of you know I will not release any names unless the warrants have been issued. That's just the way it goes. This particular one was a robbery first, an armed criminal action. Occurred on September 18th at 3175 South Grand. The person was arrested for robbery and burglary first. Those particular warrants happened to be refused. It was drug related, and those were refused, so I cannot necessarily release that particular name on that one. It was a good arrest, but that was refused in the circuit attorney's office. The next one, and this was a really big one. It took 2 months of investigation involving robbery and burglary incidents in Tower Grove South. It occurred in the area of Morgan Ford in Utah. 5 suspects were arrested. A total of 12 charges issued by the circuit attorney's office. The young man is Anthony Ewing. He was already on probation for 2 Tower Grove South burglaries. Really nice. So he was arrested on burglary second, theft over 500, robbery second degree. All of those and those particular incidents were extremely good arrests by the detectives and the officers. The next one, this one was related to Anton Jones, and it was located at 3962 Parker. This was another one where the subject was arrested for theft over 500, burglary second degree, property damage second, and tampering second degree. So on that subject, those were issued, the warrants were issued. So that was a really nice one as well in the area. The next one was burglary first degree on 3800 block of Potomac. Those are pending right now. Those warrants are pending, so I cannot necessarily release the name, but I will let you know that that person was arrested. There was a total of 41 arrests from October 1st till today in the Tower Grove South area, ranging everything from, like I said, burglary first, murder first, subject was arrested as well, 3500 block of Giles. Several theft of property of services between 500 and 2500 motor vehicle parts, everywhere from Portis and on throughout the neighborhood. Several stealing unders, again, related to auto parts, catalytic converters, such as that, and numerous violations of Missouri Controlled Substance Law, or VMCSL, in the area too. So those are all really, really good. The only really announcements before I sit down is Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday is the 3rd District Trivia Night. If any of you are interested, I'll put the information on the back there so you can look it up. And the community outreach meeting is November 11th. And we're going to have that's at 2832 Arsenal, same place we always have at 7 o'clock. And our guest speaker is going to be Steve from the Circuit Attorney's Office, Steve Welsh, and he's going to be talking about nuisance and problem properties and the process, and what it takes to get those. Not just as easy as kicking someone out of their house, there's an entire process you follow. And once you understand that process, like the lady that came out here and talked about, neighborhood orders of protection, they'll go through the same steps and help you understand a little bit better. So those of you who own businesses and whatnot or rent. Anybody have any questions for me before I start?
I
Do you
do.
have any idea how many catalytic converters have been stolen in your neighborhood?
Exactly how many? No, I could get that. Yeah, I'd be happy to send that to you.
It's like a roundabout.
Not off the top of my head, I would be guessing. That could be dangerous. But I can get the exact number though. Yes.
There were a lot of, there seems like, let me start all over. There were a lot of car clottings where they would just break in, and it was like, they had to be amateurs, they didn't know that you can't steal a car that's got a chipped key, that's my understanding.
Right.
And they're just bashing them in. Did any, catch any of those guns?
Let's see
They
here.
have to be really stupid.
And those would fall under like the attempt stealing and destruction of properties. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 5 just looking at it on the first sheet of paper here. So those are cleared by arrest. It's part of those 41. So that's a good thing. Without going into a lot of detail. But let's see, larcenies for motor vehicles, they're down by 52%. What does that mean? They went from, larceny for motor vehicle, they went from 28 to 21. So, I'm sorry, from 21 to 10. I got 21 to 10. Okay. And motor vehicle parts still went down again this month, 42%. So, there was a lady, yes.
On the murder one arrest, was it for any of the crime that was in this area, or?
That's the only crime that I'm talking about right here. Yeah.
But I mean, the arrest was here, but was for the murder here
Yes.
of,
What's that guy, the older guy,
Yeah.
he's 94, I think, on Giles? Wasn't he elderly?
Yes.
that was for him?
Yeah. Yes, it was.
And the one that was, a couple years ago, shot in the truck up here? That was nothing?
Yes, sir.
Could you explain what it means when you say warrant was refused? That just, they're not pressing charges?
Right. The warrant, which one? The case I was talking
Yeah,
about?
the case where on.
Well, what happens is the officers arrest someone, and then they take it to the prosecuting attorney to present the case, the report. This is what happened, this is how I got the public center, et cetera. In this particular case, they refused it. It had to do with drugs and whatnot. So there were some issues there with that. For some reason, along with that, and some other issues, the circuit attorney decided to refuse it. They can either issue it, refuse it, or TUA, which is taken under advisement, which then you can reapply later on if you have some additional aggravating circumstances. So. Anybody else? I appreciate your time very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Christian's gonna
Briefly talk about what the 50/50 is. Hot stuff for the
locally
50/50.
produced items.
I'm Christian Herman, I'm on the Targo South Steering Committee. I took a leave of absence for a year when I was working on Marty's Garden, which is at Morgan Ford in Utah. If someone's new here and doesn't know what I'm talking about. Bill Keller, who owns Keller Manufacturing on Filer, actually there's manufacturing going on in Targo South, heavy duty industry, and he makes these and he makes rakes, and they're sold at various stores around the whole country and at Walmart. He donated these to be used in the 50/50. They're leaf scoops. You can wear them on your hands and pick up all the leaves that are falling down. So I just meant to mention, he also donated, did I already say this? He donated a bench to Marty's Garden. He contacted me through the website we have for the garden. Contacted me and said, this was last year when we were just putting the plants in, and said I want to donate a bench if you'll match the funds, which was really, really great because the bench with the installation was $900, and I wanted to put 2 in, but only had enough funding together for 1. So it worked out really great. The guy is 79 years old, goes to work every day, runs his company, employs 27 people, and he's just an incredible man. So if you're interested with this, there's gardening gloves and a little trendy apron to wear while you're gardening. I just wanted to mention that. And also I wanted to thank Carl's here. Carl, raise your hand. There's Carl and Don. We had mulch delivered to Marty's Garden, and they both distributed the mulch by themselves, like about a ton of mulch this week. So thank you very much for doing that, guys. I was like kicked some around, I didn't do much. So if you want to buy a ticket, maybe win these. Okay, I'll be over there. On the way. $1. Split the money with the block captain's fund. Okay.